I've been told that I have a neurodevelopmental condition. At first I was told I had ADHD. Well, they said I was hyperactive, inattentive, and impulsive. Some people told me that I was plain naughty and that I probably had a conduct disorder. Now I have been told I have ASD. You know, that's about social communication and how I relate to other people. It also affects me as to how I see things in the world. And as if that is not enough, someone has also mentioned about sensory processing difficulties. This means I'm really sensitive to sounds, touch, taste, smells, light, and colors. Was it any wonder I would feel quite low and quite anxious? I liked my old primary school. I had nice teachers, I knew what I was doing there. I got on with some of the kids, and the others left me alone. Yeah, I liked school until I moved up to secondary. The first 18 months were a living nightmare. It was so big and I was so small. It had too many people and too many doors and corridors that all looked the same. Sometimes I would go to a room and it was the wrong room. Then I would get laughed at by the other kids and told off for being late when I finally got to the right room. I had too many teachers all telling me different things. I had so much to write and to remember, so many books and worksheets. Sometimes teachers would tell me we were going to do something and then it didn't happen. And then sometimes I had other kids telling me what to do, but it didn't make me feel good. I was getting into more and more trouble and felt I was under the microscope. People thought I wasn't bothered and I didn't care, but do you want to know what it was like for me on the inside? I felt lost, overwhelmed, out of my depth, and very numb. I felt confused and frightened. I hated myself and everyone else, even those who said they were trying to help me. I felt I didn't matter. I felt all alone, ashamed and angry. When those feelings became really strong, I'd run away from school. Just random days here and there until eventually I just wouldn't go. After a period of time, I would stay in my bedroom and refuse to come out. I would cry when I was alone, and sometimes I would tell my mum and dad where to go, and I don't mean telling them the directions to the shops. Sometimes I couldn't talk because I was so numb. I would get stomachache and feel sick. Sometimes I couldn't breathe and I thought I was going to die. I couldn't sleep because my body was really tense, and I couldn't get all the sounds out of my head. I couldn't cope with noises, smells, and touch of so many things. It would start off with hearing the teacher's voice, cars whizzing past, people whispering, and the constant clicking of a pen. Then I would smell food in the canteen and touch the plastic trays and metal knives and forks. All these senses would overwhelm and irritate me. Everything felt like it was magnified. I would put my hands over my ears. I just wanted the noise to stop, to leave my head so I could concentrate. Fortunately, my mum and dad had informed the school of what was happening. Both my teacher and mentor had some training and support on the issue of children and young people's mental health and neurodevelopmental conditions, so they arranged a key worker for me. One day, I was in my room. I didn't want to see anyone or talk to anyone. I heard my mum crying while my dad was trying to coax me out of the room. I then heard a kind voice saying she would keep coming back until I was ready to open the door and talk. She said people were concerned about me and wanted to help me, and there were things that everyone could do to help. The voice was my key worker. She asked me some questions, which I answered as honestly as I could. She said now some things that were causing me difficulties at school were beginning to make sense. She suggested that I see some people who could help, but she was going to support me. I saw some people along the way: pediatrician, speech and language therapist, occupational therapist, child and adolescent mental health worker, a neurodevelopmental worker, and people from the voluntary sector who worked with my family and me. The key worker said she could work with me to give me support. One of the things I could do to start feeling good about myself was to learn about myself and do things to help me feel good. Just like they tell you to eat 5 fruit and veg a day, there are 5 things you can do to help your mental health, to help you feel good about who you are. The 5 things I like are BMX, guitar, dogs, fishing, rapping. They also taught me about resilience, about being able to build up strength and to handle the tough times. They told me that they would support me with this. Life can be tough and there are no magic answers, but there are things that can be done to help you feel strong to handle those times. The basics. They help me to feel safe and comfortable at home and in school, and to better recognize my own needs. My mum, dad, and brother attended a family learning program so that they could better recognize, understand, and meet my needs too. The teachers also learned to support me and help me structure my day. Belonging. I was taught about friendship, how to make and keep good relationships, and learn how to be sociable. My dad took me to a friendship group. Oh, I didn't want to go to that, but actually it was okay. We talked, and some of the others liked the same music as me, and then we had something to talk about. It got even better when the worker said we could go and play the guitar. I was having some nice moments with my family, and things started to feel calmer. I didn't feel so low or anxious, and the stomach pains and sickness was getting less. I was beginning to learn more about myself and the things that could help me. Like how to understand how my different senses impact on my life, how to communicate better with people, how to ask for help when I need it, my rights, and that with those rights I also had responsibilities. I even learned how different we all are. Through the friendship group, I started to understand other people, even down to when they were feeling sad and tense. They also helped me to look at those feelings and physical symptoms I had when I was really tense. They helped me to learn how to calm down and look after myself. I guess they helped me find ways to manage when things go wrong, and things can help me in my everyday life. I had some friends and we formed a band. We called ourselves the Misfits. My mum hates the name of the group, but my dad just smiles. They also taught me about my core self, my thoughts, beliefs, and values, building my own identity, my self-esteem, and recognizing my worth. Before, it was easier to run away, hit out and hide. Now I get my dog, Scooby, and we will go to the lake. When I'm there, I can actually start to feel I like myself. I've got some great strengths, and I know what they are, and I guess they were always there, but I couldn't see them before, and nor could others. But that is changing now, because I am getting help, and the people in my life are getting a better understanding. I was receiving support and getting on better with mum and dad, and other people in my life. They'd also had a hard time, even being blamed for being bad parents, for not controlling me. Now as I'm getting ready to leave the school that I'm used to, the anxiety is starting to creep back in because I don't like big changes. But I have now got a better understanding of myself, and my communication skills are improving. My family and friends have also learned to understand more about me. I am beginning to feel more confident and more prepared for the next transition in my life as I move to the new arts college.